Hi, everyone. I'm Gold Derby News and Features Editor Ray Richmond, and today I'm joined by Ignacio Diaz-Silverio and Christina Vidal, who co-star in the new eight-part Amazon Freevee comedy series Primo. Welcome to you both. Ignacio, let's start with you. Congratulations on landing a series lead at such a young age. Although I'm
You.
pretty sure you're not as young as your character, Rafa. Um,
No, that would be we'd be in violation of some child labor laws there.
Good. We don't want to do that, especially now that we're recording that. And talk about the experience of making the series and how it may be different from your previous acting gigs.
Oh, man, how in what ways does it not differ from my previous acting roles?
Right.
Um, I had spent I've said this before, but I think before showing up to shoot Primo, I'd spent a total of like the amount of days I'd spent on a set collectively, I could count on my two hands. And then all of a sudden, we were out there in Albuquerque for nearly 3 months, shooting every day, like 12 to 14-hour days. So it was exponentially more responsibility. Um, but but to that end, it wasn't, I didn't feel nearly as much sort of, I guess, pressure as you would have expected, because Shea Serrano, and everyone at the helm, just did an incredible job of like creating a really joyful, like warm, welcoming environment and alleviating that pressure. And it never felt like, yeah, I never felt like I had to any pressure I felt was like sort of self-generated, and they never made me feel like I had to prove myself or something, or like I was green and inexperienced. um they treated me they treated me like I deserved to be there, and I felt, uh, and I don't know if I felt that way all the time, but but they were incredible.
It's not like they pressured you. You got to carry the show. The pressure's on you, buddy. It's on your shoulders.
Yeah, not at all, not at all. They didn't make me feel that way at all. They were, Morgan Sackett, one of our executive producers, gave me some advice really early on, like right at the start, and it was really, really wonderful advice. That and Morgan and Mike Schur are, another
Your
executive.
co-showrunners.
Yeah, co-showrunner. They've made shows together forever, and they've made some of the best comedies like of our time. And he said something really, that I thought was really sort of like poignant. He said, it's hard to make a comedy when you're stressed, and I think he was trying to sort of like preemptively, yeah, like I was saying, just alleviate that pressure and sort of let me know like that you're supposed to have fun. Like if you're having a good time, um, then you're doing your job. Like the show will be better served, if you just dive into the joy of it. Was sort of really what I took from that, and that was some really great advice that set the tone like early on, and um, yeah.
Did you get a lot of advice from Shea Serrano, the writer creator, whose quasi autobiographical imprint is on the show on
Yeah.
Primo?
You would have thought that I'd gotten more advice. I got mostly just like positive reinforcement, just like encouragement. Like, he was, obviously, like, yeah, obviously, like from producers or from the director, you get notes and like you get direction. But Shay was like as giving and generous as humanly possible, as a showrunner, as the real life, version of the character that I'm playing. There, he wasn't in any way even remotely controlling, or sort of like, looking over your shoulder, telling you like, no, this is how I would do it, or to Christina, like, no, my mom would never say that like that. Like, it was the complete opposite. He was just constantly like hyping us up, constantly sort of celebrating us, and 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 it was a joy. It felt like, you know, um, even in moments where you might lack, even in moments where I might have like lacked confidence for a second, like it was never, it was always incredibly easy to believe how confident he and the rest of the team were in me and in us. And I certainly like trust him and trust Mike Schur and trust everyone else at the helm. So to see how like enthusiastic and um he was a-
Mm.
about us, it was like just really sort of it was easy to just like to just lean into that and go like, wow, the you know, you must be here for a reason, I guess. So um yeah.
Well, we're going to need to give these guys control freak lessons, clearly. Christina, you've been at this acting thing for a while. You played Drea, the matriarch and head of that crazy household, and Rafa's mom. You look so comfortable, actually, in this role that I'm guessing you must have some real life experience being the primary source of estrogen in the room.
I don't actually.
Really?
I'm the baby of four, and I have two sisters. And so it was really just my dad and my brother in our house. And then, I mean, whatever family member or family friend was living with us for whatever reason. But yeah, I actually did not. I have experience with women in my family being strong, resourceful, a little scary. So I feel like that I was able to embody kind of comfortably because I know it. But that's actually not my personality.
Do you have anything in actually in common with your character with Drea?
Yeah, the side of her that comes out during Game Champ, that's more me. Just kind of silly and sarcastic and a little childish at times. Like and definitely the way that she feels about Rafa and the way that she feels about being a mom. I deeply connect with that. I have two girls. And just your love for your children is unmatched. So I definitely relate to that about Drea.
Ignacio, are there any similarities between your own life and Rafa's? Do you have any uncles living with you who are constantly giving you life advice in real life?
Not no. I managed to escape that upbringing. Um I have, it's interesting. So like Rafa has all uncles. I have almost all aunts. Like I have a massive family, and they're all women. Like everyone in my family is a woman. And so the only men in my family are like you know, I have like 37,000 cousins or something, and like they're all girls. Like the only guys, like I have like two guy cousins, and like it's me and my brother. At least I'm talking about my mom's side specifically because that's
Oh
where
yeah.
um, but no, you know, I'm a first generation American, so so growing up, I moved around quite a bit. I moved, but I grew up mostly in Florida, and yeah, in the house it was just like my, you know, my parents, my brother, and myself. But we would spend the summers like um in Spain, where like my parents are from, and where all my family still lives in, and there is where I would have sort of the more Rafa experience of being, you know, being in the middle of just like of just an enormous sort of like much larger even than the Gonzalez household, and you know, all these personalities and conflicting opinions and whatever. But I wasn't I wasn't necessarily like the central focus of it like Rafa is. I wasn't the only child in those moments either. So no, I had a little bit of a different experience in that way. But I can certainly relate to like some of the anxiety Rafa has, or um, some of the pressure he feels. And I certainly can remember that point in time very well. You know, being a teenager and having every adult in your life inundate you with advice, as well intentioned as it might be, it can be, you know, disorienting.
Mm.
I would have lost my mind having five uncles, like seemingly living in the house. I know they weren't really living there,
Yeah, yeah.
but it looked like they were like crashing there constantly. And
Yeah. We thought they
it's a
lived in the
funny
house.
dynamic.
we thought they lived in the house reading the scripts, and then like the first day on set, that was something they had to clear up. It was like, no, 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 everyone lives. So they just live in everyone lives in the neighborhood really close by. So everyone's just dropping in, and they all grew up there. So it is like their, childhood home.
Yeah, hopefully second season will venture into some of their other homes. We
Ooh,
kind of saw a little bit into Jay's home, but like
on FaceTime, yeah.
literally just a little bit, yeah. Or when
Ooh,
he's like going through the coats.
second season. All right, so you've been renewed. Um,
Oh, not
Oh
well. We
no,
don't
we don't
know. We
know.
don't know. We don't know.
Sorry, that was like wishful thinking and
Yeah, yeah,
hopeful.
yeah. That was just a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what that was.
Please don't.
That's
Yeah, we
what.
do not
Yeah.
have a
just
green
kidding
light.
around. Nothing official here. Don't worry. It's just the three of
No,
us. No one's ever going to see this.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
it's encouraging. Glad we're
But
doing it.
no, you know what? I know you guys have gotten great press and huge reaction. I think
Yeah.
you're 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's really been received well, so congratulations on that. And if you get a second season, obviously it's going to be well earned. Um, but I wanted to shift gears for a second, Christina.
Yeah.
I spoke yesterday actually with John Leguizamo
Oh.
about the battles he's fought over Latinx representation in TV and film, and it's the same conversation I've had with Jimmy Smits before too. And
Mm,
they talked about having to steer clear of being hired to play gang members and drug dealers early in their careers, uh,
mm,
but that things have changed a lot,
mm.
not just for them but for Latinos on both sides of the camera. What's been your experience?
I think because I got into this so young, I was oblivious to a lot of the politics of all of that. But I did used to wonder. I don't think I ever related it to a race issue or anything like that. But I definitely used to wonder if I would ever be able to like play the main character in, a film or in something where I could be like not just the friend, but be the main character. But no, I have to say that
Well, you
I,
found that really
I
early
don't I
on,
don't
right?
want to like I think Ignacio used this word and it was really good. I don't want to like co-op other people who really have been in the fight, like John Leguizamo, like so many other Hispanic actors, like my sister, who really had to fight and really had to take those roles that maybe they weren't so excited about, or it was slim pickings for them. Because I feel like I've had some incredible opportunities to be part of things that were really groundbreaking. Like Life with Mikey being the first Puerto Rican girl to star in a film. Taina was the first Puerto Rican girl to have her own show. Like that was groundbreaking stuff. If anything, I would say maybe because I was Hispanic, it wasn't it wasn't uh brought there was not much attention brought to it like maybe it should have been at the time. But yeah, I can't say that I've noticed or I've struggled in this business with like not not getting roles or getting opportunities and stuff like that because I'm Latinx. I will say though, it's really encouraging um, to see so many Latinx characters doing all kinds of things, or actors doing all kinds of characters, playing all kinds of things. And I love that my kids get to see that coming up. My daughter will frequently say, "Hey, mom, look, she has hair like mine." And it excites her, and suddenly she wants to watch that more than some other things. So that part of it is really encouraging and exciting, and I'm
Yeah,
obviously working more than I ever have, so that part's great.
just to see Wednesday Adams is a Latina actress.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah, that's right.
pretty cool too. Well, what
Yeah.
anything you've noticed in this area, Ignacio?
That I've noticed in this area. Um,
You grew up in a world where it was much more inclusive, I think.
yeah, that's true. I think hopefully, hopefully that's the direction we're heading in. I mean, there's still obviously, of course, like a ton of progress that needs to be made. I mean, people like John Leguizamo are, of course, much better researched in this subject and more well versed. Like Christina said, he's been in the trenches for
Mm.
decades. So you know, I don't know what I would have to add to the conversation. I will say that like um man, for like a few of the statistics I've seen, I think proportionally speaking, even though like Hispanics are by and large like the largest minority group in the United States,
Mm.
proportionately like I think we're uh less represented on screen than even other minority groups in the United States. I don't know that we're dead last, but we're certainly close. And so to that end, like um yeah, we're in a much better place. Like Christina and I were just at ATX TV Festival, and um, you know, we had like the wonderful opportunity of participating in the Cheers reunion table read, script read, and Chris Estrada from This Fool played Cliff, and I had like a brief moment with him where I had to be like, look, you know, look at us, man, like we're really out, like you're here, like we're here with our show, like you know, Debbie Wolf is one of the writers on our show, and she's the showrunner for Lopez versus Lopez. So, you know, there's a whole lot of you know, we're not the only one, and that's really great. And so yes, we are in a better place with all of this, but we're certainly nowhere near where we need to be. Um, but um, but yeah, we're not the only show that features like you know, a main Hispanic cast. And something that's great about our show too, or just where we are in general, sort of in the evolution of representation, is that like our show is not about being Hispanic. You know,
Right.
like
I was going to say, if I can interrupt, that's exactly what I was going to add, is that it's
right.
refreshing to see a comedy about an extended Latinx family that doesn't spend all its time calling attention to its Latinness.
Not at all. Exactly. And not,
I
you
mean,
know,
Drea can't even cook Mexican food.
right. And you know, none of the characters are doing like a little tap dance for the audience about like this is what it's like to be Hispanic in America, or like throwing out little like Spanish word. It's just, you
Which
know,
is fine, which is fun.
exactly. Yeah,
But
but it's just, you know, it's just a show about family. It's a show about an
yeah,
American family. It's a show about a Texan family, and they happen to be of a certain background, of a certain ethnicity. But I think a lot of the times, audiences, when we see, like when we see, finally, you know, a TV show or a movie that centers a cast of a certain minority group, we usually think we expect it to be about that
mm,
groups, like specific sort of ethnic struggle or racial struggle. Um, and it's cool to be able to just like exist on camera and not have it be about
yeah.
that at all.
It's
Um,
got
And
to
I
feel,
think that that's what's going to, sorry
no,
to
go ahead.
interrupt. I think that if the goal is true representation, as Ignacio said once, inclusion, equality, all of those things, is we have to find common ground. And I think our show does a good job of that because it is about family, it's about love, it's about coming of age, and we just so happen to be Hispanic. So people can watch it of other cultures, backgrounds, whatever, and not feel lost because they don't understand this culture. If anything, I've heard some people who are not Hispanic watch it and go, man, like, does that really happen in Hispanic families where it's just like all those uncles and everybody's in the house at the same time? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, that's so cool. But and then they move on. It's like a little peek into some differences, but it's not enough difference that it makes them feel like they can't watch it and relate.
Mhm. It's also got to feel good to be part of a series that's not only witty, but also, as you said, wholesome and family friendly. It's nothing you ever have to apologize for in terms of the
Yeah.
content. It's just
Yes.
fun. With
yeah,
that, actually, both of you were out of time. You can stream all 8 episodes of Primo over Amazon Freevee. Ignacio Diaz-Silverio and Christina Vidal, take good care. And
Thank
thanks for joining us today at Gold Derby.
thank you so much, Ray. This was a
Thanks
pleasure.
for
Thank
having
you so much
us.
for having us.